Local productions seen on Delta College Public Media are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Dateline Delta. I'm Diane Middleton, a Delta College Board of Trustees member. On today's show, we'll learn about Girls' Day Out and the Michigan Automotive Teachers Association. ABC News personality and host of What Would You Do, John Quiñones, visited Delta College as part of the President Speaker Series, and we got a front row seat for his presentation. To wrap up today's program, with the end of the school year quickly approaching, we'll learn about some of the staff and faculty awards.
And growing to appreciate
Delta College recently hosted Girls' Day Out to get girls interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, or better known as STEM. The hands-on activities introduced young women to traditionally male-dominated careers. We talked to Diane Lobsiger-Braden, Professor of Technical Trades and Manufacturing Division, to hear about the day's activities.
Girls' Day Out is an event that we hold here at Delta College every year, and it's focused on middle school girls, so from 6th to 8th grade, and we want to introduce them to different STEM activities. So science, technology, engineering, and math, and you know, STEM's a whole lot more than just those. I mean, girls might think of that term STEM and they might think, oh, well, I don't really want to be a scientist or a mathematician or an engineer. But there's a lot more to it than just that. It's important to get girls involved in STEM because there are a lot of opportunities out there in the workplace. There are opportunities from everywhere from scientists to skilled trades. There are jobs that we can't fill right now. And we're definitely lacking in how many women we have in those fields. And women can do the job just as well as men can. So we really want to encourage girls when they're younger to get interested into STEM fields and to stay interested in the STEM fields so that they can fill some of those openings for us. Some of the examples that we did during the event, we had a robotics program. We had circuits building where the girls got to build circuits and make an oscillating light circuit. A little mini robot car that the girls made. We need more women out in those types of fields. For some reason, they think they can't do it, and they can. If you look at some of the statistics, we have girls, younger girls, that are really interested in math and science, but we tend to lose the girls about 8th grade. Well, this is why we choose to meet with 6th through 8th grade girls, because we don't want to lose them, and that's the time we lose them. So if we can really get them interested in STEM, then we're hoping that they stay interested throughout their high school career. This year we welcomed over 300 girls to Delta College face-to-face where they got to actually do the activities live. And then we also had about 50 girls that joined us online. So the girls had a great time and we love doing this every year, so we hope to do it again next year. For more information about the event, please contact us by emailing us at the email address shown on the screen. Thank you very much.
The Michigan Automotive Teachers Association, or MATA for short, founding principle is to create an environment that fosters communication and training among automotive teachers in Michigan. Delta recently hosted a spring conference for its members. We talked to Jim Miller, Assistant Professor of Automotive Service Tech, to learn more about the events.
Over spring break, Delta College hosted the Michigan Automotive Teachers Association, otherwise known as MATA, their spring conference. It's the first time that we've hosted it here since 2018. Macomb still hosts the fall meetings every year. We rotate the spring meetings around. MATA is an organization that helps high school and career center instructors mainly. We also host some college instructors here, but it is a way for the instructors to very efficiently get their training hours that are needed each year to maintain their certifications. When we hosted this spring, we had approximately 119 people attend. Of those, about 72 were high school or career center instructors. We did have 15 vendors here that put on a trade show. The vendors that put on our trade show bring a lot of their product that is very useful classroom training aids a lot of times. Another example is the representatives for all of the equipment that we have in the auto lab. We had representatives here from Snap-on using their field equipment, which is named John Bean equipment, as well as Hunter representatives. So the instructors are able to see the latest and greatest equipment and get bidding for if they have potential purchases with grant money coming up and things like that, trying to plan for the future. Big technology changes, obviously, with electric vehicles and with what is referred to as ADAS, the assisted driving systems. So there's a lot of stuff that the high schools and career centers especially are not prepared for to start introducing that technology. The event benefits Delta. In my mind, the biggest thing that benefits us is recognition by these high school and career center instructors because they're able to come in and see our state-of-the-art facilities, the vehicles that we have, and potentially send their students here for their post-secondary education. Delta receives many vehicles throughout the year from General Motors because of our GM ASEP program. They are used specifically by our General Motors ASEP program for 5 model years. When they are 6 model years old, they are rolled into our comprehensive program. Once they are 10 model years old, we cycle them out, if they're still in good condition, to high schools and career centers that are ASE accredited. So what General Motors allowed us to do this year during the conference is we used as door prizes 2 of the vehicles that we need to redonate. Some of the trainers that were here were not only the vendors, but we had some specific training come in to work on specific training aids that is available to instructors to be able to take things a little deeper and show for their students how to understand systems a little deeper, how to use the latest and greatest technology that a lot of these instructors, myself included, because we've been in the classroom, have not been exposed to as an industry at the level that our current technicians are. One of the very interesting things that we were able to do while we had all of these instructors here was we were able to highlight our statewide automotive articulation agreement. What the articulation agreement does is it allows any ASE accredited high school or career center from the state of Michigan to articulate up to 23 credits for their students to not have to duplicate things they've done at the career center level when they come in and start our automotive program. Despite the late season snowstorm, we were very excited to be able to host this event, and we were very happy that everybody was able to come in for both days. We're looking forward to hosting this event, hopefully within the next 5 years again.
Delta College recently welcomed ABC News journalist and host of What Would You Do, John Quiñones, as part of the President's Speaker Series. John talked to a large crowd in the Pioneer Gym and covered a wide range of topics. Let's listen.
And I'm especially happy here because I've read all about Delta College. This is a college that's all about appreciating diversity and the thoughts and the ways of other people. I love the school's focus to widen the classroom experience, to challenge all of you to think deeply and to act responsibly. And of course, I can relate to all that because I do a show called What Would You Do? That's all about that. So you've been warned. We can put those hidden cameras anywhere, like in this room, right? If you're sitting there, the person next to you passes out and you step over them to go get another drink, you're going to have me to talk to afterward. It's great to be here. I'm a reporter, I'm a storyteller, and that's all I ever wanted to do. And it's great to be back in Michigan, by the way, because as you mentioned, Dave, I was a migrant farm worker with my family, so we picked cherries in Northport, Michigan, north of Traverse City, when I was 13 years old. More about that later. But you know, that's why I do this show, and that's what I learned back then, that there were all kinds of ways that people look at certain people because of the color of their skin, or the accent in their voice. People used to follow us around up in Traverse City because they thought we were going to steal something because we spoke with a funny accent and because we weren't dressed the right way. And that was the beginning of me wanting to shine a light on issues that affect this country as a reporter because of where I come from. As I was saying, I'm a storyteller. My profession as a network reporter, I get the opportunity to shine a light on a lot of issues that a lot of people don't want to hear about and don't want to talk about or see. I mean, I created What Would You Do 15 years ago because I wanted to hold up a mirror to American society. We wanted to know, how do you unlock the power and the light that exists in each and every one of us so that we're all better equipped to say, you know what, that's wrong, or how can I help?
We want to thank John for visiting us at Delta College, and we look forward to hosting more great events at Delta College as part of the President's Speaker Series.
Sponsored by the Bergstein family of Midland since 1963, the Bergstein Award for Teaching Excellence is the highest honor a faculty member can receive at Delta College. A vote from Delta College students and faculty chooses the recipients. Leanne Govitz, Director of Marketing and Public Information, recently sat down with this year's winners.
Kristen, Mike, congratulations and welcome to Dateline Delta. What's it feel like winning the award?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's really two totally different awards to me in a sense, because the first time I was still, I was in my 30s and I was just really learning my craft. I felt like I had just really gotten good at it. I was using, up until then, I feel like I was just using my natural ability, to work with students, and then my passion for construction and architecture. And that got me a long ways. But then I started to really work on things like assessment and learned a little bit more about, the actual teaching part of the classroom, more from a, let's say, almost a scientific standpoint, right? Really analyzing what I was doing. And yeah, I felt like it led to that first Bergstein Award. And then this time at, 50s, it really felt like just, confirmation that I'm still doing it, right? I think I was a little bit concerned about that maybe I was getting a little bit too old, wouldn't connect with the students anymore. Maybe the passion wasn't as strong. And then, after reading some of the comments that were shared from the Bergstein committee, I was like, wow, yeah, that's.
And you?
It's been very surreal. It just, I think that's the best word I can come up with to describe it. I just was in disbelief when my name was announced, and it is just, when you're teaching, at least for me, it's always kind of, you put your head down, you're in the classroom, and for 16 weeks you are entirely wrapped up in your students' lives and what they're doing and how they're doing in your classroom. And so it was just, it's been so heart-filling to know that I had students take time out to fill out a survey and check my name, and that you don't know when you had them per se. Are they this semester or a previous semester? So it's just been incredible to know that I have enough students out there to think highly enough of me as their instructor.
So what do you think are some of the important aspects or attributes for a Delta College instructor?
There are so many things that make us wonderful here at Delta. I do know over the years you do find out you're in very rarefied air here with your colleagues. These are fantastic people, and so the best thing is that you get a chance to learn from them all the time. But the one thing that I seem to see over and over again from colleague to colleague is this genuine care for our students. There is this sense that you are here and you are in my room, so you are mine to make sure that I am not just getting the content to you, not just getting the understanding of material down, but the sense of, you're here, so I'm going to help you in whatever way that is, along with class. As Mike said, there's the whole science to the side of teaching, and when you roll that in with the compassion that so many of our professors and instructors have here at Delta, it just brings the relationship and the community in the classroom to another level. And so I would say here at Delta, we care for our students, and that's I know that that's always the line, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to say it and know it's true.
What are your thoughts on that, Mike?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that there's two main things, right? You have to have content knowledge, and that's the first thing. But just seeing all the different people that I've worked with here and teaching in all different areas, they all have that. And what, to me, what the difference maker is that if you come to a place like Delta where it's all about teaching, right? We're not here to do research. We're not here to do all these other things. It's all about the teaching aspect. It's all about the students. So then it becomes, just how passionate you are about that, because that's what makes the difference to the students, is that, they can pick up on it. They know, if you're genuine about it. Even in classes where maybe it's a class that's not my favorite class to teach, I have to work harder in that class because I know that they're going to pick up on that, right? If I'm not ready, if I'm not really thinking about how I can make this apply to what they're going to do, then they won't take it as serious. So it's if you're not passionate about teaching, you won't have a lot of success here. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I mean, I think we should be about teaching.
Great. Can you think of an encounter with a student that made you really go, okay, this is why I'm doing this?
Wow. Well, it's crazy because it just happened to me Wednesday. I have a young lady in class that she's had a lot of issues since she started here, and it's taken her a while because she's been very busy with her work and her life, and she didn't feel like she had a lot of support to stay in school. And so I always really worked with her to encourage her to say, hey, you can do this, and had her in a bunch of different courses, and in one of the real hands-on courses that we teach, spent a lot of extra time to make sure that she felt that she could do it. I knew she could do it, but you have to convince them sometimes that they can do it. And then the other day we were sitting in class and she was looking at her schedule and she said, oh, I'm only going to have you for one more class. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what a difference, from her like wanting to quit basically to now being sorry that she's finishing the program and that she's only going to have me for one more class. So that was one of those where you're like, oh, you're like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, those are the great moments,
Yeah.
aren't they? They really are. I think that's what is best about this job that we get to do, this career that we get to do. It's kind of littered with those stories of those moments and those students. And I guess recency tends to play in the mind. So I teach two different subjects here. I'm in English, but I'm also in education. And this semester, I was going out for an ed observation, and I walked into an elementary school in Cairo, and there was a young woman in the office, and she kind of looked at me and she's like, I know you. And she's like, wait a minute. And I said, I said, I had you as a student. And she's like, oh my gosh. And it was so wonderful. I'm there to see another Delta student, to do their observation, and they're at the beginning of their teaching career and just putting their, dipping their proverbial toe in the water and trying to see if they like it. And then standing in front of me is a woman who has been through the program, is a teacher, is established, and had just a wonderful conversation being able to catch up with her. And so it's just a really fulfilling moment to see a student go from, I had you in class, I had you at that very beginning, and then see them out in the field, in their career, doing what they love. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful sensation to know, okay, I had a small hand in that. So, yeah.
Well, it's been so nice to talk with both of you, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
In addition to recognizing outstanding instructors, Delta College paid tribute to a faculty and staff at a recent Employee Awards event. It is our opportunity to honor the best of the best and the most loyal of our faculty and staff. Let's take a look at this year's honorees.
I should not be the only one to receive this award. I could not even begin to have been recognized if not for what I have learned and continue to learn daily from my colleagues. I thank you for being my colleagues and my friends. You make the workplace a wonderful environment in which we have done and continue to do amazing things. So I thank you for that.
My team is in the arena with the students that we see. They're there every day. They work outside of the core business hours. They're available in the evenings. They're available on the weekends. A student can select whether they meet with them in person, at a center, online. They're there with the students and they meet them where they are and take them to where they need to be.
She's an advocate for students in accessing technology, food, transportation, and overcoming barriers that interfere with their education. She works closely with students that need laptops, is on the Student Food Pantry Advisory Board, and has supported and is a supporter of the Star Bus line to get students from Saginaw to main campus, as well as downtown Midland and parking.
This project focused on launching a new web-based platform for creating and managing and cataloging audio and video recording in the health professions lab and dental clinics.
So I was hired here in 2009. I spent 2 years at a two-year college in Georgia, and one of the things I focused on was the Compass test, which is a placement test. But we also, in Georgia, used it as a summative test. And so I went and I learned that test because I was supposed to help students pass it. So I became an expert at Compass, and that was one of the reasons I think I was hired here.
And most importantly, I would not be standing here today without my students. They're really the reason why I'm here. And I just thank them, even though they're not in the room. I just thank them for entrusting me to be their professor and to guide them to their career in media. And I promise you that when you turn on your radio, when you turn on your television, when you are on social media, it is one of our students in this region and across our country that are running media and news fields everywhere.
Delta College is a community where I've been proud to be a part of the past 18 years, serving as both an adjunct and full-time faculty member. When I taught full-time, I had the privilege of getting to know Q and growing to appreciate and admire him for his leadership at Delta and his commitment to what we now refer to as BEDI.
I have been at Delta for almost 5 years now as an adjunct, and I know that there are so many adjuncts who are more deserving of this award than I. We work very hard for the betterment of our students, and I have been amazed at how each year that I've been with Delta, my experiences have been surpassed each year.
But mostly, my students. They're just, every year, every semester, there's something new that I thought I had figured out before, and I just hadn't. And so they're there to remind me of that again.
It's a performance in some ways. You have a responsibility to put all of the other things that are going on in your life, put those things aside. And when you're in front of the students, you got a job to do, and you need to do it. You need to stand up there and perform.
I'd like to congratulate all of this year's winners and recipients. It's evident why Delta College is considered one of America's leading community colleges. Now, let's see what's on the Dateline Delta calendar of events.
The Delta College Planetarium is hosting a series of shows during the month of May. For more information about these shows and events happening at the planetarium, visit their website at delta.edu/planetarium. The Delta College Planetarium is hosting a family fun fair on Saturday, May 6th from 12:30 to 3:30 p.m. Fan Forum, that's Families Against Narcotics, is providing an informational session on ending the opioid epidemic. The event takes place on Thursday, May 11th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. in room N007. There is a FAFSA completion workshop on Monday, June 5th from 3:30 until 5:30 p.m. in room A135 on Delta's main campus. For a listing of items to bring, please contact the Financial Aid Department at 989-686-9080. For further information on these events and other campus activities, contact the Office of Marketing and Public Information at 989-686-9490 or visit our website at www.delta.edu.
Well, that wraps up our show. Please join us again on May 28th when we highlight what's happening here at Delta College. Now, let's go out into the Delta College courtyard and see more sights and sounds of our beautiful campus community. For Dateline Delta, I'm Diane Middleton. Thanks for watching.
Local productions seen on Delta College Public Media are made possible with support from viewers like you. Thank you.